Welcome back to the M2 podcast. I'm your host, Michael Anthony. My co-host right here is KyleHeath. This is the show where we cover this week's gaming industry related news. We're going to be talking a little bit about Nintendo and Pokemon actually suing the heck out of the Palworld maker of Pocket Pair. We're also going to talk about a little bit of Disguised Toast and his professional esports team, Saber Interactive, Ubisoft update, and what's the last one we got here, Kyle? Is it... Oh, Destiny 2. Well, pretty much we're going to be talking about Destiny 2 Marathon, and the best case scenario for Bungie is kind of the main article of discussion. But before we get into it, Kyle, how you been, dude? Have you been gaming? Playing anything new? Are we still back to the same old routine? How you been, dude? Bryce Young got benched. I'm sorry, but yeah, a little shout out.
Hey, I'm not. It's time to get some wins, baby. Let's go,
Mr. Andy Dillon.
Oh man, nah, dude.
What is it? Red Rifle. He's gonna save us.
Rifle. Yeah. Hey, anything to get some a minuscule of hope. We all know it's going to be at least years until we're back to any sort of formidable team. So
yeah, at least like 5 years. But hey, here's the thing: I just want us to be fun to watch again, and I want to be incentivized to go to the games.
Yeah,
that's all I really want. That's all that really matters to me.
Look, mediocrity is fine. I want to go to a game and be like, oh, we might win today. It's just like I at least want that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the thing, like we don't really talk about like professional sports.
No.
We usually talk about esports or like gaming industry stuff. But because we're both in the Carolinas, we're big Panthers fans.
Yep.
And I've been trying to brainwash you into being a Hurricanes fan.
Hey, dude, I honestly think I am at this point.
You should be.
I've been keeping up like crazy with off season, and I know like
you should. There's way too many moves, man.
Yeah, but
you can't believe anything.
I watched like a decent amount of games last year though, so I kept up. So
yeah, it's got me excited, and I think right now it's mostly about like, well, you know where I live. Like I'm 2 miles from the stadium, man.
Yeah,
for the Panthers, I have zero interest to go to the games. There was a home game last weekend. I went to like the bar right next to the stadium. It felt like there was nobody in sight. Like the stadium was mostly empty, wasn't it?
Yeah,
no tailgating.
I went to the game and it was like, I think for the most part, like it, and especially like the first like hour, obviously like there's hardly anyone in the actual seats because everyone's shopping and stuff. I mean, I was surprised. I went with my dad and I think my dad mentioned like kind of we were like first, second quarter, and he was like, I mean, honestly, I think it's probably like 75%. Like it's, not packed, but like not like filled up, but I was surprised there was like that many people there. So
like from my experience, it's usually a bunch of people there, more than there normally would be because it's the first home game.
Yeah, it's home opener.
Even bad teams go, and like the tickets to the games, the cheapest you could get was $25 for the upper level.
Yeah, exactly.
And they sell out all the time, mostly because like the team buys the tickets that are left over.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, I mean, like $25 to go see an NFL team come to town.
It's like see the production,
Yeah.
I think it's worth it.
The problem is just like if you're a diehard fan, you're just in pain, dude.
I mean, yeah,
you're hurting.
Look, we won't stay on this topic long, but one last thing I want to point is like I saw someone mention one of I think the NFL analyst he mentioned, he was like, if you go to a game and you see that like a majority of your fans are wearing jerseys for teams or jerseys on the team that are players that aren't active, it's like
gone.
It's like if the player's not active and a majority of your fans are wearing their jerseys, like that should tell you something, kind of thing. So, and that was certainly the case.
Yeah,
most current player jersey I saw, Bryce Young, and outside of that, it was like it's like I wore Luke Kuechly jersey, like I saw a lot of that. I saw some Jake Delhomme, I saw a couple of those. Like it's just like old, I even saw a Frank Reich jersey, which I thought was hilarious. So, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean it's pretty cool to see that because it's like he was one of our quarterbacks, interim quarterback.
Yeah, exactly.
In the 90s, so 98,
yeah,
99,
I think it was like the start. Like he was the first quarterback ever to play for the franchise. So it was like, yeah.
Oh, that would have been 95, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So
I don't know. Yeah.
But yeah, and that certainly was the case. And when I went to the Panthers game, it's mostly interactive players that you see jersey. So yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I'm hoping for a turnaround, but at least I don't expect much this year. But we'll try again later. Hopefully, we can figure out what this team is and go from there.
Facts, dude. Yeah, I mean that's one of the reasons why I've been trying to get into like the esports and stuff because it's just one more thing you can watch they can have a good time with. It's like I'm not even that big of a Halo Infinite fan anymore, but it's like with sports betting now being a thing, it's like they have esports too, so it's like oh crap, I kind of want to watch that more. And I told you about that last week and the week before. But there are other things going on. It's like you got CS:GO and Valorant, And there's a lot of orgs coming up that could be very, very successful. And with the turmoil happening on in like the video game industry, with like how so many different studios might be laying off a bunch of people, it's interesting to see how that's going to impact the esports industry and the people that play the games and like create content. Because I think the people create content should be okay. I'm concerned about the leagues, like the publisher sponsored leagues.
Yeah.
So it can be kind of cool, but I don't mean to like pull you away from what you did over the weekend. Did you do anything else?
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I was trying to think if there's much else. I played a little Dead Island 2. Still
Okay.
like playing that game and enjoying that.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I really played too much else. I mean, that ended up taking up, I think, most of my
Too much IRL stuff.
yeah, too much IRL stuff. And yeah, I have more stuff coming up this weekend too. So we'll see how much time I get. But yeah. So it's a lot going on, but hoping to get some more game time in especially after this weekend. I should start getting some free weekends again. So I'll have a little more time.
Cool.
But yeah, it's it's been a lot. Hey, got some down to and happy about that. So definitely gonna try and play some more. I think when I can. So
Very cool.
Sure.
Very cool.
Did you get any Rocket League in? Did you get any Halo in?
No, only Halo.
Dude? Only Halo. Okay.
Yeah, only Halo. Only Halo. I joined a Halo 2 draft league that started up on Monday. They're gonna do it every single Monday at like 8:30, and I've been streaming that. And I mean, the rest of the guys that are playing in the league, aside from 4 or 5 people that I actually know, like that actually know how to play Halo 2,
Yeah.
it's like they're mostly brand new to Halo 2 because of the anniversary lane coming up November 8th through the 10th or whatever, down in Vegas. So they're trying to like get into the game, and it's funny. We were doing we did our series, our best of 5. We finished in 25 minutes. I think we went like plus 40. It was not close. And the funny thing about it is like we got up together after the game to play like pickup matches and stuff. And the guys that were in the lobbies had no idea what the callouts were. They didn't really understand how to play or strategize. So I kind of speed ran a couple of the maps to like show them where everything was, the important callouts. And as we're going through it, they're just like, wow, these are like way more specific than Halo Infinite. It's like, yeah, because you have to know, like Halo 2 is a very fast paced game. The spawns aren't predictable, so you have to be like on the money about like where people are, where they're going, like the communication between you and your teammate. Make sure that you guys actually are listening to each other. Your shields don't recover as fast as Halo Infinite does, so it's like your damage really matters. And there are other things that are going on with it, like the power ups, the weapons, they spawn faster than Halo Infinite. So they were like really dumbfounded about how that's a thing. And there's also not like HUD information to like let you know when things are coming up. So it was a very interesting thing to see people play Halo 2 for the first time in the league.
Yeah.
The other thing is just trying to somewhat organize a Charlotte invite only like Halo 2 LAN. That's been kind of what I've been looking at. Watching more sports, fantasy football taking up a little bit of time as well, and just being in pain as a Everton fan. Really. So but you're right though. I need like you bringing up Rocket League really makes me want to play Rocket League again. Get on there and get smoked.
Yeah. Or get
One of my favorite things to do.
Strike,
yeah. Oh, dude. I get bobbed all the time in Counter Strike. That goes without saying. I have moments where I'm just like, oh my god, I'm a demigod. Like getting 4-piece, 5-piece headsets, headshots and stuff. It's like, oh yeah. I actually came across my old clip. I think I sent it to you and Nick. It's one where I didn't realize I was using my headset mic, so you can hear me breathing as I'm playing. So it's like I'm trying to control my breathing. You know when like things get so intense with like Valorant and Counter Strike, and you're just like, like trying to keep it together. Yeah. It's really funny. I should probably relink it to you guys. Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, man, I'm mostly just excited to get into what's been happening in the news the past week. Really.
I am trying to be honest.
Get my mind off of everything else and just concentrate on some video games.
Yeah, for sure. So, shouldn't have any more disturbances, by the way. I don't know if people watching the video. My cat, dude, we started a little late today. My cat's like, he's like, playtime? I'm like,
no. Oh, no, you get 9 o'clock zoomies?
Yep, I'm sure does. So,
yeah.
Had to ostracize him, but hey, here we go. So,
sorry, kitty.
Yeah. I'll be back in an hour, bud. All right, so we're gonna start off with a little update on Pocket Pair. For those that don't remember, Pocket Pair was the makers of Palworld, the Pokemon ripoff that took the internet by storm earlier this year. So Nintendo and Pokemon are suing Palworld maker Pocket Pair. It's weird to like see this too, because this is a game that, you know, launched a while ago and we all thought, oh, like maybe Pokemon's gonna have something to say, maybe, Nintendo's gonna have something to say about this, and they were pretty silent for a while. Apparently
a long
not now.
time, actually, yeah.
Apparently not now. So
Takes
this
a while
is,
to get to Japan, I guess.
I guess. So this is coming from Jay Peters over at The Verge. Don't know Jay. Palworld is accused of infringing multiple patent rights that belong to Nintendo and the Pokemon Company. Nintendo and the Pokemon Company have filed a patent infringement lawsuit against Pocket Pair, which makes the game Palworld. For Nintendo's press release, Nintendo Co. Ltd., headquartered in Kyoto, Kyoto, Japan Representative Director and President Shintaro Furukawa, Nintendo hereafter, together with the Pokemon Company, filed a patent infringement lawsuit in the Tokyo District Court against Pocket Pair Inc. On September 18th, 2024. Lawsuit seeks an injunction against infringement and compensation for damages on the grounds that Palworld, a game developed and released by the defendant, infringes multiple patent rights. Pocket Pair didn't immediately reply to a request for comment. Palworld, which is still in early access, became one of the first big gaming hits of 2024 when launched in January, selling more than 5 million copies in 3 days. And it's wild to think, like, just pausing real quick, it's wild to think, like, that was, like, back in January. It feels like years ago.
Dude,
to me, anyway.
Does. Like, oh my gosh. I thought it was like...
It feels like last year. I don't know. It's...
Yeah. Yeah, we started with Palworld. Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's insane.
The survival crafting game, which has been described as Pokemon with guns, has your character working with monsters, also known as pals, but some of Palworld's monster designs are remarkably similar to Pokemon. People almost immediately called out Palworld for the apparent ripoffs. And it links to some old tweets from back in January where it's like they show a pal and they're like, someone's calling it out like, this looks exactly like this Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a whole
I remember that. That was pretty cool.
But yeah, so... Yeah, I mean, it's just surprising to see this because this is like, again, it's such a long sort of like, January this game came out and now September is when we're finally, taking legal action over at Nintendo. So it seems like a bit of a delay, but I don't know. Also just very strange, I guess, for it to be this long. It almost seemed inevitable though. I'm surprised it wasn't sooner, but there could be, I guess, some legal stuff maybe behind it that prevented this from happening sooner. I don't know. What do you think, Mike? I know you played. I'm pretty sure you played Palworld a little bit, right?
I played a little bit, but it never really caught my interest. I think the moment I found out that you can't have dedicated servers, was that in Steam? Yeah, you had to pay for it on Steam, but it was on Game Pass, so I wasn't able to get the dedicated server to play with my friends. And I'm mostly, like, this point in my life, I like playing with friends more than I like to play single player games. Like, it's specifically something similar to this. But I think with the patent rights, it mostly is... I don't know the patent right laws that are in Japan. I know that some of the legality of what happens in Japan is vastly different than what happens in the other parts of the world, like Europe and USA. So, or North America. So I wonder if that might be why it took so long for them to react. Because this has been going on for months and months and months. So what's the, like, why?
Yeah.
Like, how long does it take to file? How long does it take to, like, build a case? Do they do, like, crazy due diligence? Because I feel like when Nintendo does these lawsuits, they very, very rarely lose. It's either it goes on, they automatically win, or there's, like, a cease and desist letter that comes out and basically shuts the entire production down.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I think it's... I feel like you wouldn't do this unless you had a strong case, because like, especially if you're Nintendo.
Yes.
So
yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they were collecting evidence. Maybe this is like they're gonna come at this lawsuit, and all of a sudden they're gonna, just fire on all cylinders out of nowhere. Right?
I feel like that's gotta be the case because I don't think it's gonna be kind of like contradictory to say but I don't think Nintendo likes to look at themselves in a bad light, and I think they're very, very cautious of how the public sees them. So I think there are elements to Nintendo where if you're in the Super Smash community, like you're jaded. You probably don't really like Nintendo that much, even though you like their games because of like what they've done with the tournaments. However, if you're the general public, Mario's like a cute, cool character with like Princess Peach, Luigi. So it's and then like they're also doing this amusement park. So like they're very brand and image conscious just as a company. So perhaps that might be one of the reasons why it took so long to react. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's gonna be very interesting to see what happens. This isn't gonna be over for a while.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's not going to be for sure. Yeah, this is probably going to go on for some time, but yeah, it's out of nowhere, which makes you think that they really like kind of prepped it because I mean, it's to the point where obviously I just forgot, like, I haven't forgot about Palworld necessarily, but I just forgot that
It's
this
not
was
on
a
your radar,
possibility.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like I just forgot that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I knew like at the time I was like, okay, surely Nintendo's going to say something, and then it's like a month went by and they didn't, so I was like, all right, I guess they're good. And now we're 5, 6 months, 7 months down the
Yeah.
line. It's like, oh, okay. Now we're finally doing something. So yeah, it
Yeah,
would be a
it
close
was
thing to follow for sure.
yeah, it was always that mention too of like, hey, this is a clear rip off, and then like
Yeah,
all these tweets went viral back in January. I mean,
right.
even the
Yeah.
one that they mentioned, this is January 21st in the tweet of this Bio Frog guy basically pointing out the models are almost spot on with what it is. I wonder if let me see how many views this got. Maybe we could be dramatizing this. 254,000 views, so it's not that much, but I mean, we've heard about this going on for a long time. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
It's
interesting
all
though for sure.
speculation right now at this
Yeah,
point.
literally. So we get more info, see the trial, see the notes. Those legal notes, dude, go on like
Oh
crazy.
yeah, dude.
So we're
we'll
gonna see a
we'll start
44
doing
page PDF.
yeah. We're gonna do the same thing we did when we covered the Xbox and
Yeah.
Activision Blizzard
Yep.
notes from the court
Yeah, it's
proceedings.
gonna be like, here's a 20-page PDF you can read right now. It's like,
Yeah.
all the, it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, we'll probably
I
see
read that
something
whole
like
thing and I was like, this is fascinating.
that.
As I pushed my glasses up.
Just like, yes, moreover.
100%.
But yeah, so I'm curious to see more. But hey, dude, we gotta
Moreover.
moreover gotta talk about some esports.
Disguised Toast, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you don't know, Disguised Toast is a like content creator, streamer, personality, influencer, online guy. He has an esports team, so it's going to be kind of interesting to dive into this. I'm glad that Kyle over here gave me some insight because I always like to see esports teams, and I don't think people realize how much money they don't make. They're not like
Yeah.
the esports teams never make money, and I've been on this platform for a while now. Just they're the expense. They should be treated as if they are the marketing campaign, like the marketing budget, where you just spend all the money and hopefully people come buy your merch. That's what an
Yeah.
esports team should be. Um, the real money is the content creators. So let's get into it. This is coming from Forbes. Actually, Mike Stubbs at Forbes. And I think we've covered him a few times. He's a contributor over there at Forbes. The title of the article is Disguised Toast is still losing a lot of money on his esports team. So in early 2023, influencer Jeremy Disguised Toast, his gamer tag or online personality, Wang, so Jeremy Wang, formed his own esports organization called Disguised, and then a few months later revealed that he had lost around 1 million on the endeavor. Now, over a year after the revelation, Wang has revealed that the team is still losing money. While not revealing exactly how much the money has lost or how much the team has lost, Wang confirmed in an interview discussing his signings with talent agency Loaded.gg. Remember those guys? I think that's
Oh yeah.
actually Devin Nash's. It might be. He
Yeah, it
has
might be.
affiliation with them.
Yeah, it might be. Can't remember
He has
exactly, but
affiliation with those guys.
no,
Yeah.
for sure. Oh yeah.
So the talent agency Loaded that the team is still losing money. It's not a major concern right now, but if things don't start to turn around in the next 12 months, it could be the end of the Disguised team. So this is a quote from Jeremy Wang, Disguised Toast himself. I'm happy with the progress and still losing a lot of money on it. It definitely has its ups and downs. I like it to gambling, but except when you win, you still lose money. But it's very much a passion project, and I expect this from the start. I might put a hold in it in a year if we are unable to break even. But so far, things have been getting better, and every year as I gain more understanding about the scene. Dude, my man ain't making money off of esports, but I appreciate his mindset.
Yeah. Optimistic.
Yeah,
Optimistic for
it's very
sure.
optimistic. Esports teams don't make money. They just don't.
Yeah. That's why
And
most people that, own esports teams already have other
yeah,
businesses that they're able to use for the revenue to fund
that's
an esports
100%
team.
what it is. I think a perfect example of this is SSG.
Yeah, I was just gonna
SSG
say
and
that.
Optic, those two guys, they started off primarily as content creators. Hex.
Yep.
I actually don't know the name of the SSG owner. I know that he has a heck of
Yeah,
a YouTube
Shurzy, I think.
channels.
I might be
Yeah,
wrong. I don't know.
but
I don't know.
but the point is like their primary focus of making money is through their content creation. They're
Yeah.
entertainers.
Yep.
And the esports team primary focus is to win tournaments. Why would you want to win tournaments? To sell jerseys. Nobody really buys jerseys except for weirdos like us. So then it's like, well, what's the goal? I guess to entice the competitive team to be more interested in watching content. But the truth is the competitive side of like gaming, they only watch content of live tournaments and of maybe tips and tricks on how to get better at the game if you're lucky. The vast majority of their time is spent playing the game. That
Yeah.
ain't making any money. So you need those Minecrafters that are like watching hour-long videos and then going out and buying stuff. Oh, my Xbox turned by mistake. Yeah.
Xbox.
I looked down and I was like, why is my tray hitting me? Oh, yeah, it's on. So let's continue on with the article real quick. The esports team is not only a passion project for Wang, but also part of his idea to branch out of streaming as he looks for more options in later life. Despite being one of the biggest names on the internet, Toast knows that his current career is unlikely to last until his retirement age, and is trying to find new things to do with his time. This is part of the reason he has signed with the Loaded Talent Agency, in the hopes that they can help diversify his opportunities. So this is a quote from him, by the way. The occupation of being a Twitch streamer does not have a long history, so it's hard to look at people who've done it in the past to model for yourself to figure out what is next. Is it just playing the new game every year until you're 60? What options do we have if we want to try something different? I think each streamer will face this dilemma as they get older and older. One of the best things about working with Loaded now is that they have been working with me to ideate, I believe, potential future ventures. As I am something or someone that's kind of reaching the end of their just gaming only era. Yeah, a lot of these guys usually branch out and go into some type of like content creation on YouTube where they're doing like self-help, motivational, like day in the life, or they're just doing IRL streams, become just
Yeah.
overall personalities. Despite only just signing with the company, the Toast and Loaded combo is already resulting in some success. As part of the campaign around World of Warcraft that Toast is involved with, Loaded helped to perfect the concept to something that could actually work and get developer Blizzard more involved with the project. And what is this? This is from the VP Talent Strategist or Strategy at Loaded. This is Yoni Ginsberg's quote. We are very excited to be working with Toast, someone we've admired for a long time. He's a renowned creator in the space and a top personality in the variety of gaming genres, including social deception and card games. So he makes a natural addition to our roster. Let us look into Loaded. What are your initial thoughts, though, Kyle? Why I figure out what's going on with Loaded?
Yeah. I mean, I think, he's one of the few creators that, that could sustain a financial loss, right? To like pursue something like
Oh
this.
yeah.
So like,
Oh yeah.
yeah. I mean, I say go for it for sure, and he clearly has. Um, Again, is it ever going to be profitable? Like we're saying, there's very very slim chance, unless you get talent that are willing to do things outside of just winning tournaments, like creating
Yes.
content and all that to actually pull in revenue for the organization. So yeah, it's a bit of a rough kind of area. I mean, I think I just think it's so it's I feel like it's almost impossible for any org just off tournament earnings alone to actually be sustainable. So it's like, if you're not doing content or anything else, like you're kind of just screwed. Um, and but I mean, I think it's. I mean, yeah, Disguised Toast. I mean, I think one of the most interesting things is that he was one of the creators that went to Facebook Gaming whenever that started.
Yes, he
So he was
was.
like one
Yeah,
of the pioneers
he
of
made
that.
crazy money off that.
Tried to like get that platform to pop. Obviously, really didn't
Did
pop,
not.
and every creator is pretty much left at this point. Um, but yeah. So I mean, he's one of those personalities that they try to bring over, and he made a lot of money off that, I'm sure. And yeah, it's he's able to kind of do that. I mean, I think to his point too, talking about just streaming in general. I mean, like I'm sure there's probably a lot of streamers too that maybe just grow out, like he was saying, kind of just growing out of
Oh yeah,
just gaming all the time, right? And like
but you lose your audience too.
you know,
You know.
yeah, and I think there's certainly some parallels with that. I mean, I don't know, do you think it's? I'm curious if you think it's part of like a he's just kind of grown out of gaming kind of way, like maybe gaming's got to a point where he's just not like just as into it anymore. You think maybe that's it, and so he just wants to try and like grow outwards that way, or do you think it's just like just he's just about trying different things?
I think. I think he. I don't know. He's a young guy, isn't he? So maybe he's trying to look for like a sense of purpose
You know,
of what else does he want to do.
right? Yeah,
Um, because I think at the age when you're younger and you want to be a content creator, you want to be like a big name star and successful in terms of video games. When you achieve your dream of doing that, you're like, oh crap, that was awesome. That was so awesome. I want to feel it again. Like, what else can I do that will like what am I really interested in that I can like keep striving and keep growing? I think that's what it's about. And if he's already comfortable in the space he's in, that would be really cool to like add on to it in a different area. So it's like, yeah, I think creating a new org or an esports team is way more challenging than probably being a content creator yourself. So, because you're like way more responsible for other people and they also need to perform in order for you to have success. It's like you're more reliant on other people instead of yourself. So that could be like a way like new challenge for him. And I can understand why that would be more interesting. Um, I think one thing we should probably bring up too is just the success of Disguised Toast. Have you ever watched him at all, like his streams or his YouTubes or anything like that?
I think I've seen a couple clips, but I haven't actually sat down and like checked out a stream. I don't think.
Yeah, I'm not like the. I've watched him a couple of times. I've seen highlights. He's mostly in like kind of a larger ecosystem of content creators.
Yeah,
It's not really my type of like content to watch, but
yeah,
he's
same.
massively popular. So just for like people that don't know who he is, I'm gonna read like his bio on Wiki, pretty short, just so people get some context here. So Jeremy Wang, he's now 32 years old. This is why I'm like he's been doing this for a very long time.
Yeah,
This is what I'm really getting at. He started in like 2015, so over 10 years or damn near close. So he's better known as Disguised Toast. He's a Taiwanese Canadian streamer, YouTuber, and internet personality. He got his start on YouTube, creating videos about the digital card game Hearthstone. He later began streaming on Twitch before he signed an exclusive streaming contract with Facebook Gaming in 2019, which is what you referenced. In 2021, he announced his return back to Twitch, and he was a member of Offline TV and an online social entertainment group. So, do you remember who's on or original creators of uh, Offline TV?
I think wasn't Pokemon one of them?
Yes.
Yeah,
So you had Skara, Lily Pichu,
yeah.
Disguised Toast. They were the original founders in 2017.
Hmm.
So those are like, I guess maybe were they the original founders? I think they were, but they added even more as like you have Michael Reeves on there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty big. Yvonne, Braun and Platt, Sidian, Masayoshi, and Quarter Jade. So it's like these are pretty big names of people that have like come and gone. Like Pokimane was one of them, one of the original founders. Chris Chan, Poke Lols. Yeah, basically, I can go down the whole list and give the whole
Right.
history, but
Yeah.
it's like it's mostly just about. It's interesting to talk about. It's interesting to see on Forbes because this is the new generation of just content creators that are gonna get outside of like, well, damn, I've been doing IRL streams for so long. Oh, I've been doing Hearthstone or like this game for so long. Like, what can I do differently that brings them joy? And it's like
Yeah.
good transitions, esports. or content creation with a group of teams. So I don't know. It's kind of worth mentioning because he's not gonna be the only one we see do this. I mean, bro, like Neymar has a professional team. You know,
Yeah, it's
like
true.
there are other people doing things. So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're not. It's not the end of it, of course, and we'll see how it goes. But I don't know. I want to be optimistic about this guy's toast org, but I don't know if he's gonna be able to make it profitable, dude. We'll see.
I don't think he's ever gonna make the esports team profitable.
Um,
I don't see that. I think he can make a content creation team like profitable and make that work for sure.
right. Yeah.
He's had success everywhere else.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I mean, esports teams are not designed to make money. The business model's trash. So
Yeah. That's unfortunately the truth. So we'll see, man. We'll see.
yes, sir. Well, we yapped enough. How about you hit us up with the next article of discussion?
Saber
A little bit of
Interactive.
an update.
Let's talk about this.
Yes, sir.
Saber Interactive might sound familiar to some people, but look, they are securing investors to help clear debt to Embracer. Alpha Capital Partners and Crestview Partners have invested an undisclosed sum in the company. This is coming from Stephanie McElvoy over at GamesIndustry.biz. Saber Interactive has secured investments from 2 private equity firms to help clear its debt to Embracer. I'm just going to say Alpha Capital Partners and Crestview Partners announced a significant equity investment of an undisclosed sum to support Saber and its growth initiatives and M&A activity. As part of the transaction, Jamie Rahamim. I don't know, that's not to say it fast, dude.
I don't know it either.
The managing director of Alpha and head of media, and Brian Cassidy, Crestview president and head of media, will join Saber's board of directors. Alpha and Crestview is a testament to what we have built, and more importantly, to what we can still achieve in the coming years as creators and providers of some of the best game content in the world, said Saber CEO Matthew Karch. Or Kark. I don't know how to do the CH.
I think you're right, Karch. I think you're right.
Yeah. I have been doing this long enough to know that the most important aspect of any investment is who your partners are, and I can state with tremendous confidence that Jamie and Brian and their respective teams at Alpha and Crestview are the right fit for Saber's future. Saber was acquired by the Embracer Group in 2020 for $525 million. In June of 2023, Embracer announced a restructuring program, and Savvy Games Group backed out of a $2 billion deal with the firm. Early this year, Saber bought itself back from Embracer in a deal worth up to $500 million.
Jeez.
Trying to dig out of this hole, Mike.
Yeah, I was thinking of like it is crazy. Like it's just chaos over there.
Really,
absolute chaos.
Really is. I mean, yeah, we've been following the Embracer drama for a while. It's kind of just like falling apart, and trying to find people to sell IP to, and the whole thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but then they've been like chipping away at Embracer forever now. It feels like.
Yeah, it really does, man.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild, but I mean, hey, what do you think? Are they making it out? This is the real question. Do you think they'll be able to make it out?
I'm not going to rule it out completely. I think it's going to be possible for them. It's like Embracer's been around for a very long time.
Yeah.
Over 10 years. They've been very successful. They've survived a lot of things. And they have a buttload of subsidiaries. Like really, really famous subsidiaries. So I think they'll survive. It's just a matter of what they're going to look like. Because I think they're going to transform. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
Embracer is going to exist. They're probably going to be a shell of their former selves. That's the only thing.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that. I think it's gonna be hard to bounce back to 100%.
Oh, for sure.
But I mean,
cooked.
Yeah, they're cooked, dude.
Absolutely cooked.
Hey, with enough hope and optimism, you can get there. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, likelihood. It's kind of like this is max. It's kind of like right here for my optimism around getting it back. I don't know. It's yeah, it's not looking great. I mean, it's a step in the right direction, I guess. Try and get some partners, see what can be done, see if there's any sort of game plan that can be written up. But
yeah, to get them out of it.
Yeah,
that's the whole the whole idea.
It's a long road. It's gonna be a long road. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they can do it. I don't know. It's just, oh man. The more I think about it, the more I'm just not as optimistic. But no.
It always concerns me whenever you see a CEO come out there and it's just like, I've been doing this long enough to know that the most important aspect of any investment is who your partners are. I can state with tremendous confidence that Jamie and Brian. It's like, bro, why are you talking like that? Like, why are you using these words? They're gonna save us.
Why
These two
you using
people.
this vernacular? What's going on here?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we'll see. I'm not gonna rule it out completely. It's just good to see. I mean, I always like to go back to this about how many layoffs we've experienced over the course of the last year or so, just in the video game industry, about how bad things are getting. Just to see that investors are still coming in and like chipping in to help out different studios, different like people. Really, is what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Keep people's jobs, like
Yeah.
to get investors to come in. That's really cool. Really cool to see.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I totally agree. It's like, it's good to just kind of keep the lights on, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah.
For everyone there, dude, I hope the best, I can
I
hope.
think they'll be okay. There's positives.
Yeah, for sure. There's many positives at Ubisoft though, Mike.
Dude, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
All right. Oh goodness. All right. So we've been talking about Ubisoft for how long now? For the last year or so. I think the red flags went up big time a year and a half ago when we watched their like Ubisoft forward. Remember that? Is it a forward? I think it was. You play
Yeah.
forward,
Yeah,
Ubisoft
Ubisoft forward, yeah.
and we saw that sad state that they were presenting films in and how lack of confidence they had, and then all of a sudden it's like layoff after layoff after layoff. New game comes out, bust, poor rating, overly spent, over budget, didn't make our money back. Sheesh. So I expected the studio to freaking implode after the release of um Outlaws, which is the backdrop. If you're watching on video, this is the backdrop for what's going on at GamesBeat or VentureBeats.com. Yeah, okay, so let's just dive into it. So Ubisoft will return to 3 days a week in the office. That doesn't sound like a good thing. If you've been working 100% remote, that tells me, dude, insider knowledge. I worked for a company that had a department that was allegedly struggling, and the head of our office came from that department in particular. All of a sudden, these people in the other department were mostly working remote. I came in on a Monday, relatively early, like 8:30. They had everybody. I'm talking about people I hadn't seen in years because they work remote in the conference room, 30 plus sitting in there, all together, head honcho running the meeting. Apparently, they were doing a everybody has to start coming back to the office. We're not profitable anymore.
Oh, dude.
If you don't come back, you're out. Like they were doing that stuff.
Oh man.
They're cutting. Yeah.
Jeez.
So I'm curious. Maybe I'm jaded. I'm curious if this is what this is going to be about.
Oh.
Let's find out. Ubisoft announced that its employees will have to return to the office 3 days a week in person, starting at a yet to be designated time. I'm sure they might know. Maybe we don't, just because there's an article. So there's no start date for the mandate yet because Ubisoft is informing employees, all 19,000 of them, for the first time, and said it will be flexible depending on areas of the world where they live and local requirements. Remember, some people get the job, and when they're allowed to get like work remote, they up and move. You can be like, you can be in Thailand as long as you're at an internet cafe. You can just upload your documents, brother. You'll be fine.
I did my code last night. Click. Upload.
Yep. Or satellite. I mean, you got Neuralink and all that. Well, not Neuralink. It's whatever.
Starlink.
Stupid. Yeah. Thank you. Starlink.
Or
It's always a link. It will also allow some exceptions on whether people will be forced to move or not. Yep. But it will be a global policy for the first time requiring staff.
oh no. Oh no. The connection connection is degrading.
We're to return.
Oh god.
About and on
Oh god.
average,
Oh god, hit me. Oh god.
50% of
Oh,
time.
ladies and gentlemen, we've hit a wall. We've hit an internet wall. Discord is trolling.
And these
Discord's
work model
full on trolling.
The remote, at least
he looks
at
like
the office.
He looks like a Ruskin. Okay, we're back. All right, we're back. Dude, whoa, that was the craziest Discord lag I've ever seen in my life. Whoa.
All right,
we're back. We're back.
Okay. Where we stop?
So you were on, but it will be a global policy for the first time, and then yeah. So.
Oh my goodness, dude! I read like 2 paragraphs. Okay. Okay.
Discord.
Let's start over. Let's start over. I'll keep looking back to the cam, so somewhat moved, so I know we're good. All right, so let's start over. Sorry about that, everyone. But it will be a global policy for the first time requiring staff to return to a hybrid model of 3 days a week in the office. About a third of the team members are already coming into the office, and on average, teams spend 50% of the time in office now. Marie Sophie de Warbert, or whatever, Weibert, I don't know, Chief Studios and Portfolio Officer sent this message to the employees. So in a statement, Ubisoft had said, and quotes, "We have adopted a hybrid work model globally over the last few years and gained valuable insights. We are now looking at refining it to better balance the benefits of remote and in-office work, targeting at least 3 days per week in the office. This adjustment would enhance creativity and teamwork by increasing our time together in the office, ensuring it supports our values and culture while respecting individual circumstances." Ooh, I got hot takes for that. I don't know if you want to bring it up, but I got hot takes. So in the company's previous policy, for many of its studios or offices, employees are already working at this level, with a third of the offices working 3 days or more, and now it's aligning the rest of the company under a consistent global policy. Asked about what the date will be, the company said it will take effect in the coming months. The company said it believes working together in person fosters creativity, strong relationships, mentoring, and it gives newcomers a chance to learn from others. That's very true. That last sentence
I
is
agree.
very
Yeah,
true.
I agree with that. I think I will say, if like bringing people into the office, especially if you are like you are a new hire, rookie, like
100%.
it's beneficial to have that side by side. I will agree with that.
Yep. It's very true, because the thing that people don't understand, and I think it's worth mentioning, and I only really came to terms with this when I was coaching and doing some stuff in like the fraternity in college when I was like doing membership education. People have different degrees of learning and different types of learning. You know how like the stereotype, it's not even stereotype, it's like clinical study shows. Um, some people are visual learners. Some people are like auditory, like you have to physically touch it, handle it, like stuff like that. Those really matter to people that are brand new, because that's when you're really trying to like learn the industry, learn what the company's about. Like it's not just for like if you don't have that and you're working entirely remote, you don't have any say in the game, you have no real connections to other people within the company, it's like, why would you stay?
Yeah, I know.
That's
You
kind
have
of
no reason to, right? It's like,
zero reason to. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that in my own company. We hire out people that that are nowhere near kind of our main offices, and so it's like whenever they're kind of done, they're just like checked out and they have no ties. They're just like, all right, I'm out. Like it's kind of just there's no reason to
just
stay.
Ghosting all the time. It happens. Yeah. We'll continue on, and then we're going to get the official announcement that was sent actually to the employees. So each division will implement the new policy on its own timetable. The company had been contemplating the move for months, and it was deliberate about the decision. As a contrast to Ubisoft's policy and Amazon yesterday mandated. So, as a contrast to Ubisoft's policy, Amazon yesterday mandated that all employees would return to office 5 days a week starting January 2025. Before this change, Amazon employees were required to be in the office 3 days per week. SAP, AT&T, Dell, Disney, Goldman Sachs, and others have rolled back their previously flexible policies that were created during the pandemic when work from home was encouraged. So here's where my hot take came from. Now, keep in mind, you and I just agreed wholeheartedly on like the company said it believes working together in person fosters creativity. It does. Strong relationships, sure. Mentoring, very key, I think.
Yep.
Like actually having somebody you can go walk into their office and ask for help, very ideal.
Oh.
Like you really need that with somebody that just joined the industry and is honestly clueless. You need
Yep.
that person to be able to go talk to you and bug you with all the questions. Otherwise, they're not going to succeed. So I agree with that. This crap, this right
Oh.
here, about
Oh.
mandating that employees must return to the office 5 days a week.
Ugh.
They're saying like it's not even really saying why, but most of the reason that I've seen is like you're not as productive as you could be working from home or remote. And it's like that is not true, like at all. Dude, my productive hours personally, and I know I'm not the only person, this might be because like we're gamers. My most productive hours are literally after lunch. Anywhere
Oh,
from
okay.
1
Okay.
till about like 11 o'clock at night. Those are
Hmm.
my most productive
Okay.
hours.
Okay.
The funny thing is during the pandemic, I was working 100% remote. My boss knew this. So it's like the morning I was taking it mostly easy. I'd like go walk, I'd take like care of everything around the house, get like
Yeah.
everything looking good. I'd have food, I'd feel good. And you check my progress, like log into the projects and be like, oh, he's kind of far behind. And then the next morning you'd wake up and like sign on and you'd be like, oh, it's all done. And it's
Yeah.
like because it's like that like people work differently. People are productive at different times. And that might be because my personal life growing up, how I did things,
Yeah.
it's just many different factors, how your social life is. So what I'm saying is like this mandate, you have to come back to the office. Part of it, and I got another hot take. Part of it is how much it costs to run an office, and
Yeah.
you want
Oh,
people to actually use the office.
yeah.
Like that is a huge expense. One thing that they're not really mentioning: SAP, AT&T, Dell, Disney, Goldman Sachs, Amazon, all of these, Apple, all of these have major headquarters, like
Yeah.
campuses.
Oh, yep.
If you're not having your employees come in, that's just a vacant lot that's losing
Yeah.
value.
Yeah. Well, I
That's what
mean,
that is.
all those companies before pandemic, right? They would have so many incentives for employees. Like you
Oh
come in,
yeah.
you'd have like snack bars and breakfast bars,
Oh
and
yeah.
you'd have
Oh, we
all of
got a
this crap. Like
gym. We
yeah,
got sauna. We got a
we have
pool.
we have like
we
we have
yeah.
mental
We got
restrooms where you just walk in and it's
yeah.
quiet. Like you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
it's all
dude,
there.
straight up. I don't know. Maybe I'm like desensitized from it, but just pay me. That's my
Yeah.
incentive, dude. Don't give me a pizza party. Don't give me all this extra stuff. Pay me more. I would rather you take away all that crap and just stuff my bank account
Yep.
with
Facts.
money.
Preach. You
Because I
know what I'm
want,
saying?
because to me, it's like my time here is spent away from things I would rather be at. I don't care
In
how
most cases,
special
yeah.
you make this place. Yeah,
Yep.
I don't care how special you make this place. I don't want to be here. Shut up. Now, here's the other thing: conspiracy theory, hard hat, like tinfoil hat time, and maybe some people that are listening can attest to this. I think, well, you actually work in IT. You might be able to prove this. I think a lot of companies that want their employees to come back or want people that are refusing to come back that are working remote that have the remote sign in to the servers, do all these authenticators, all these remote desktop. Like they don't really do remote desktop anymore, but you know what I mean. I think they're trying to make it as difficult as possible, so it's most inconvenient as possible, so that they're more likely to quit, so that the company doesn't have to give them severance
I mean, it's
or
certainly.
incentivize them to come back because it's like all that stuff costs extra money to have like
Yeah.
high speed direct connect to the server.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it depends on the companies that use VPNs and everything. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's a little tinfoil hatty. I'll say that. But I mean,
Yeah.
there could be some like sadistic truth to that at some companies, certainly.
I mean, I'm just thinking it's like if you got 1,000 employees on average, like a mid-sized company, I
Yeah.
mean, it's pretty big, but it's like 1,000 employees that are all trying to work remotely into your server. That's got to bog down the system some, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, probably yeah.
Yeah. So,
So
and if you're using all cloud-based software, but you have to log into the cloud in order to use the cloud-based software,
yeah.
it's like extra lag on extra lag. It's like, dude, stay away from me, please.
Oh man, the cloud isn't really a cloud, as they say. You know,
No, it's not. There's a
it's
server
all a myth,
somewhere.
dude. It's hardware somewhere.
Always is, always will be.
Yeah.
How about we finish off real quick from the Chief Studio and Portfolio Officer
This is a
Marie?
Bible. Okay.
Yes, I'll try to go through it pretty quickly. Kind of speed run it. Let's go. So here's the copy of the announcement sent to the employees. Hello, today. Sorry. Hello, everyone. Today, I would want to share the result of collective reflection about how we work together at Ubisoft, and more precisely on our hybrid work model. Over the last few years, we gathered useful insights and feedback on how to implement hybrid work in the best way possible, or the best way for us. We all appreciate the flexibility hybrid work offers and want to continue enjoying its advantages, including better work-life balance. That's why we will not go back to 100% office-based work or office-based model. However, we are also confirmed all the positive energy and unique benefits that come from being together in person. These shared moments foster stronger collaboration and deeper connections. We are a creative company, and creativity is boasted by in-person interactions, interactions, informal conversations, and collaborating around the same table. Being together in person also helps solve problems and make decisions more effectively. Increasing in-person time is a key to learn from each other in an industry that's constantly evolving. I mean, that's very true. And this is even more important for newcomers who need to master our tools and understand our ways of doing things. That's very true. Finally, it's also essential to build mutual trust within and between teams, nurture a sense of belonging, and make the most of our culture. And I mean that part. I don't really care. That's just me though, but I'm not much of a company guy.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. I mean the mutual trust, I mean, just do your job. If you don't do your job, you're fired. That's my mutual trust.
You know your
The
job. I
nurture a
ain't
sense
gonna
of
trust you.
belonging.
I ain't gonna trust you, God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, the nurture a sense of belonging, bro. I don't care.
You can
I mean,
nurture these. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying?
yes. And make most of our culture. I mean, bro, dude, I'm not trying to be your friend.
Yeah.
I'm here to work. I'm here to get the job done. I'm trying to clock out. And I'm trying to see that paycheck hit. That's what I'm trying to do.
Man. Hey,
I'll
respect.
show up to the freebies every now and then,
Amen.
but
You know
when
what
I'm
I'm
there, I'm gonna be jaded as hell. I'm gonna be like, dude, why is this not in my paycheck every week?
saying?
Like, why are we mandating a certain amount that we gotta pay to go somewhere else? Like, you could just be giving me that directly, and I'll go with my friends.
Straight up.
Like,
Off the dime. Off the
I don't
time
know.
clock. It's like,
I get it. I mean, like most people spend their lives in the office or working wherever you want to
work
do.
is their
It's
lives, yeah, literally.
yeah, it's sad but true. But okay. Besides the point. Besides the point. Continuing on. Therefore, in consultation with the entire executive committee, oh yeah, the people that are definitely working in the office every day,
Yep.
and all entity production zone and studio leaders, we want to evolve our hybrid work model, targeting a minimum of 3 days per week at the office. A third of our global teams are already following this model, and our objective is to now align the rest of the group. This evolution might impact some of your routines and lives, so those who need it will have time to adjust. Your local management and HR team will be in touch very soon about next steps, and they are available to answer any questions you may have. Thank you once again for your work and commitment to challenging or in a challenging period. Creating a video game is a collective journey, and we are confident that this evolution is the best way to move forward as one team. I see you wanting to eat your microphone.
I'm just thinking, like, hey, hot take. What if
Yeah.
this makes Ubisoft great again? Think about it. What if this is the move, dude? What if this is what brings this company back from the depths of hell? You know what I'm saying? Just imagine it.
Bringing people back so that they can be creative again.
Just imagine it, dude.
I will say this. Yeah, I will say this. I think the only people coming back to the office are the people that either need a paycheck or that actually care.
There you go. So hey, you weed
So
out all the people that don't care. That's kind of a win-win, dude. To be honest.
I think so. I think so. You might be onto something.
Yeah.
That might not be a hot take.
Maybe this is kind of a
That just might be
strategy to just be like, hey, who actually cares anymore? And then just there you go.
Oh, I definitely think that's going to be incentive, but I was coming from like a pessimistic point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like they're trying to bring people back to like get rid of people that they don't want to have. To like,
Just
but
saying,
in a
man.
way, it's like, well, we don't need them anyway.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
yeah, I mean,
to
you could
be
be right.
fair, to be fair,
To be fair,
I will also say, if I had to go back in
Mhm.
5 days a week, I don't know if I'd be happy about it. I'm just saying, like, kind
5
of like
days a week, I would be fuming if
that's
I
what
was
I'm saying.
100%
Like,
remote. I
that's
would
what I'm
immediately
saying.
go try to get a job. Yeah,
I'd be
but
like,
they're
yeah, I don't know
talking
about
about
this.
3 days. So, what 3 days would you choose? I guess
It's a good question.
I
Wouldn't
would
be a
do
Friday.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, I was about to say
Oh no.
you ain't catching me there on a Friday.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday
Nah.
would probably be my play.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably
Yeah.
be upset,
Or
but you know,
or Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either, dude. I don't know how I'd react. I don't know how I would behave. 5 days a week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
3
haven't.
days ain't so bad. So I live, as Charlotte, I live in a banking city. The banks have been doing this hybrid model for a while now, ever since the pandemic, and a lot of the guys I know, they only come in 2 days a week,
Yeah,
and they alternate like shifts almost.
yeah.
So
Some people
they'll
come in
have
Monday.
like
Some people come in
yeah,
Tuesday.
exactly. So there's
Yeah.
always somebody in the office, and I think it's because like the banks own the buildings, and the buildings are not valuable when they're empty.
Yep.
So they gotta fill them up. Get
Makes
ready to
sense.
sell them. Yeah. Dude,
Makes
my
sense,
building
honestly.
right now, you work from home. My building, my side is I think it's like 40 stories or something.
Crazy.
They separate the elevator like 20 and 20, and our side only has 3 floors occupied.
That's crazy. What?
It's insane. There's nobody there. Yeah.
That is insane.
And getting
Wow.
into like a very busy metro area, very large city. It's the second largest city in the South by surface area. It's bigger than Atlanta. It's it's slightly smaller than Jacksonville. It's a
That's
very big city.
I didn't realize Charlotte was
I
that big.
It's
What?
surface area, dude. It's
Man,
massive.
I just
So when I get into Uptown on Fridays, zero traffic.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Nobody's there.
Yeah,
Nobody.
I bet.
It's
Yeah.
actually pretty sick. But I mean, I think this is a worldwide occurrence. Ubisoft is an international company, so I'm sure it's the same thing in
Yeah.
Europe. Just people mostly working remote.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, hey, just
Yeah.
don't know how to
Oh,
react.
by the way,
Ubisoft be good. I don't know.
shout out real quick before I let Kyle go finish up on the last article. Just want to give a shout out. Didn't do this. Games Beats, VentureBeats.com. Dean Takahashi wrote this article. So
Dean
just want to do that.
Takahashi, the GOAT.
Yeah.
Like it. Yeah. Shall we, end with some Destiny 2 opinion piece?
Yeah. Yeah, let's hear it. Let's get. Well, I mean, we've been giving our opinions the whole time. But we might as well get somebody else's from
Look,
Mr. Paul Tassi himself.
I was gonna say I like Paul Tassi, so
He's the man.
be interesting to hear his opinion. So, best case scenario for Bungie, Destiny 2 and Marathon. It's coming from Paul Tassi over at Forbes. So yeah, I'll try and get through this quick. We'll see. There have been an overwhelming sense that these days Bungie may be teetering on the edge of extinction at any given time due to mass layoffs, mass leadership departures, with a few problematic people staying, and the end, in quotes, of Destiny 2 in its current form, twisting into something else. But today, I want to be both realistic and optimistic to a certain extent, as I theorize about the best case scenario of where I think Bungie can go from here. Start with Destiny 2. I think we have to be realistic about at least the short-term future of Destiny 2. There is no going back to the highs we've seen over the past year or two as we ascend towards the finale of the light and the darkness saga and reaching the final shape. The best they can hope for is sustainability. Now, after this odd episode-based year, we know the long-term plan for two smaller expansions a year and updates in between them. We don't know exactly how this is going to play out. At the very least, it feels like less FOMO and easier places to jump on board and more unique campaigns. But the ultimate goal of Destiny 2 has been to settle into a reasonable number of loyal players in this new period of time, even if that number is lower than before. But it needs to be high enough to sustain it. Steam numbers show a trend, but are only part of the story, given that the game is also widely played on console. Destiny has indeed now gotten its lowest average player count via its last 30 days across its lifespan of 28,000 concurrents on Steam, more than a 90% loss since the highs of the final shape. The goal is absolutely to be above that, and the game needs to find a number that balances the investment in the game, which is now going to be less than before, with the players who are still there and still spending money, which will also be less than before. Destiny's biggest problem is that it has been in the red for a long time, and that needs to change. If they can find that balance and Sony has enough patience, the game can continue indefinitely. However, if Destiny is to survive more than a year or two into its second decade, there does need to be work done on Destiny 3, something that would hopefully launch at least by the next PS6, Xbox Y console generation.
Wow.
All internal reporting is that this is not a priority right now, and as such, players are not especially hopeful about the long-term lifespan of the franchise as a whole. It's possible D3 is indeed starting to take shape, but Bungie also may not want to announce that, and it could lead to even more players quitting current content and saying they'll just wait for the sequel in a few years. But a sequel, a true leap forward, does need to happen, or this franchise will fade altogether. He's spitting, baby. This game needs a new game, bro. This franchise needs a new game, but
it absolutely does. I don't think anybody can ever argue against that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, listen. Yeah, dude. I think Destiny 2 is reaching the end of its lifespan, in my opinion. There needs to be something new for someone like me to get excited, someone like all these other casual gamers to get excited. I think there needs to be a new offering, so I agree with that.
A lot of my friends stopped playing Destiny 2 a while ago. It's kind of crazy to think it's been out for 7 years.
Yeah, I know.
So that's a long time.
I mean, which is kind
of... I think it had a really successful run, to be honest.
I mean, yeah. I think it was kind of their idea, right? Is they wanted to... I know, like, the original Destiny, they wanted a decade-long thing, which is crazy to think about. Yes. Destiny 1's a decade old. It's wild. But they wanted it to be, a decade long, and then 3 years later, Destiny 2 came out. So I was like, okay. Yep. But, we'll see if D3 is, going to be a thing. You know there's a Destiny mobile game? You know about that, Mike?
I did not know that, but I'm not surprised. I feel like there's a mobile game for everything now.
Yeah. So this is reportedly still in the works from NetEase, and while it is safe to assume that no, it will not necessarily grab a giant chunk of current Destiny players given a drastic format switch, if this can be a game that ends up printing money like other mobile hits in whatever region, Asia, that could be a lifeline for the main game itself. Okay, well, Destiny mobile game. I'm curious to see what that'd be like. Will I play it? I don't know. But hey, I'm curious what they could do with that.
I probably won't play it, but I did like the
I want to see game
toss out to like, will it be a hit in whatever region? Asia?
Asia, yeah, probably.
Asia? Yeah, PUBG goes hard in Asia.
Oh.
So.
Should we talk about Marathon, Mike? Oh, I'm excited about this.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Let's see what Paul says about Marathon. So, Paul's take on Marathon. There's no beating around the bush here. Marathon needs to be a hit. No, I don't think it's a requirement that it launches with some absurd player count like Helldivers 2, but it does need to settle into a much higher player count than where Helldivers 2 is now, which is around 22,000 peak players a night just 7 months after launch. For a live game, no, that's not going to be acceptable for Marathon. It needs to be a hit. We're talking like, we're busting numbers, Mike, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, go crazy.
I agree. I think like over 100,000 consistently.
Oh yeah.
For like years.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, we need something like that. I do not worry that Marathon is going to pull a Concord. Concord was a failure on a level that was totally unprecedented, and just because this is another Sony live multiplayer game, I do not think we need to assume the worst in that regard. Concord was bashed from 30 seconds into its first trailer. Marathon's first look was well received, and if future showcases, which need to happen soon, are similarly good, then it's going to build momentum rather than slowly downward spiral to bad buzz. If recent information is confirmed that the game is not a hero shooter and instead more of a customizable Battlefield-ish class system, this should reassure players who are spooked about its switch to hero gameplay under the Valorant director. And speaking of Valorant, if Joe Ziegler could help guide the game to success, if Marathon could get itself to that level, that would absolutely be the kind of hit Bungie and Sony need.
Yeah.
It's true. Spitting. That's a lot riding on Marathon, bro. All I'm saying.
I mean, Paul Tassi doesn't miss, dude.
A lot riding on that game, dude, for sure. Should we talk about the rest? Next session.
Yeah, let's talk about the rest.
So, The only main project we know about is Gummy Bears. Now being made by a new studio, Bungie, people working directly under Sony, there is positive internal sentiment about that game, but it does seem somewhat less likely to be a wide-scale breakout hit. Predicting the next, say, Fall Guys or Splatoon or something is a tough objective with how little we know. Bungie cannot stretch themselves too thin with additional projects, however. They've fired 200 plus employees and lost dozens more to voluntary departures. One of the stated problems with the company to date is that they did indeed try to take on too much at once, and that has to stop. Supposedly, all of Bungie that remains is working on Marathon and Destiny, and that's how it has to stay if either of those are going to succeed, due to the scale they need to achieve and sustain. Yo, Paul knows a thing or two, Mike. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, speaking facts, we kind of covered basically what he was hinting at there about how they got fired, or they fired 2,000 or 200 employees. The 200 people that they fired were mostly management level. They weren't the production and engineering staff. They're actually designing the games. However, there were large amounts of task managers shifting over, going to different projects on the Sony side. So that's gonna be kind of weird. But I think, I mean, it's Bungie. You can't knock Bungie. They created Destiny 2. Destiny 1 was alright. Destiny 2 is better. They created the original Halo trilogy and Halo Reach. They're capable of greatness. There's no doubt about that. It's just a matter of, do they currently have the team? Because that's the past. They have to prove themselves again. So to have like another Destiny 3 come out, or another Destiny sequel, part of a true trilogy to come out to be successful, that'd be really cool to see. And Marathon needs to be a hit. We don't know really anything about Marathon, to be honest. It's all like glimmers of hope here and there.
Would you see that? I just see this image of the dummy
all the time.
That's all I see.
All the time. And he makes a great point. Like, could this be like a Concord level game? But they do poor marketing, no vision, nobody plays it, the game implodes, and now they pull it like 3 weeks later. Could you imagine that happening?
I don't want to.
I can't imagine it, but if it did, it's like, bro, it's a wrap for Bungie.
Like
I can see Sony just pull the plug so quick.
Like I want to have faith in Bungie. I think a lot of people are probably going to check out Marathon just because it is Bungie and they haven't been keeping up with the news of what's actually happening at the studio. So they'll be like, Bungie made a new game. Like, hell yeah, let me get on it. And then, if it's, you know, I think there'll be a lot of people just for the draw of the name alone will probably play it.
100%. 100%.
Dude,
they're the entire Halo community despises. Actually, I should say the entire. I would say the vast majority of people from the Halo community or still in the Halo community absolutely despises 343 Industries, the current developers, and they've been praying for Bungie to come back. Now, most of them try to go play. As a Halo kid, I tried to play Destiny. It just didn't interest me. I had a lot of fun. I thought it ran beautifully. I didn't know much about the story because that's not like the type of game it is. It's like, it's not a Halo game. It's an entirely new type of game. Completely different genre, except for the shooter aspect, right? So if they can have a new game come out, they're going to be bringing in everybody that remembers the Bungie logo, essentially. So people are going to try it out, like you said, just by the name alone. Will they hold attention is what's really going to matter.
Yeah.
It's the same reason people test out the new freaking Call of Duty every year. The same reason why people pick up Battlefield. It's like, these are IPs. These are like developers that matter to people. They're going to check it out. So
yeah, I mean, for sure. There's definitely gonna be people to check it out. I don't know. Like I said, I still want to have faith in Bungie. I mean, knowing what we know, what's going on in that studio, it's like my confidence is lowering about how good this could be.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong.
But yeah,
it's definitely lower.
Oh, dude, it's just like firing people, hiring new people, important people. So it's like
very important people, like studio heads and like company shift culture, especially being acquired by two conglomerates. You know, it's like anything can happen. Who knows who's still there? Who knows what's actually going on behind the scenes?
Yeah, dude, who knows, man? But I don't know. I definitely want to see more. I'm hoping to see more about Marathon soon. Because we need to.
I think so. Yeah.
Can't disappoint, man.
Not again.
Not again. Yeah, dude. Oh, man. I just don't know, Mike. I hope for the best. You know?
Yeah,
Hope
it's gonna be
Bungie can
fun.
pull through, baby.
I think they will. I think they'll gather people's attention, and hopefully they can keep it longer than Palworld and Helldivers too, because it's always good to have immediate success. Just you got to maintain it. I think the people are desperate for a new shooter. They really are.
Yeah.
Something new and exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping Bungie could deliver, bring back that good old IP. I mean, I think, like I said, Destiny was great. I remember I played Destiny 2. I think I played like the beta or something like that on PC back when it first came out. And I remember how well it ran, and I was like, dude, it's so optimized.
Dude,
it's just it's butter.
It runs so good. It runs so good. I miss optimized games, bro.
Yeah.
It's been so long. It's been 84 years.
Bungie just did it so right with that game. So I don't know, I'm hoping something similar for
man.
Marathon.
That's true. But hey, dude, do we have anything left in the articles for this week?
I don't have anything left, dude. That's it. That's it, man.
Well, I feel like we did relatively good based on time and me yapping on a couple of longer projects or longer articles, but most importantly, hopefully we can sort out a little bit of technical glitch. Hopefully nobody even notices.
It was like, I just thought it was funny. I mean, it was a decent chunk, but
it was big, yeah.
At the end of it, you got like your camera quality like dumbed down so bad over Discord. It looked like the Cyberpunk meme of the cop, where it's like you just saw claymation.
Yeah, claymation.
Like, your thing looked like that for a second. It was funny.
That's pretty cool. It was all intentional. It was a filter.
It really looked like that.
Yeah. But hey, if you got nothing else to add, I'm pretty hungry. We started kind of late today, and we're looking at like 10:15. Have you eaten? I haven't, so we got.
I ate a little bit earlier, but I'm definitely about to grab some after.
Yeah.
So
let's go munch, man. Let's let the people go. In the meantime, let's play some new games, brother. And I think, yeah. So just quick closeout information that we do every single episode is links are in the description below, timestamped as well. Thank you, Kyle, for doing the timestamps. Really appreciate you, especially today because everything bugged out. Yeah, links in the description. We have socials down there too. And yeah, if you're listening, appreciate you. If you're watching, we love you. But yeah, do you have anything to add, Kyle?
Nah, dude, I don't think so. Play some games, man. We're getting in fall,
Yes,
so game's about to get good.
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, that's a fact, dude. I'm so excited. I can't wait for the cold weather.
Oh.
Give me some hot chocolates. Give me the Xbox in the living room, dude.
It's like a few weeks away from the Silent Hill game, I think. We're almost there. Dude.
Yeah. You're gonna be in a happy space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I gotta clean up my whole mess over here, get ready for the gaming session that's gonna be taking place. It's gonna be good.
Oh, yes, sir, dude.
All right, without further ado, let's let the people go. Thank you very much for joining us as the M2 podcast. We appreciate you for tuning in. I'm Michael Anthony. My co-host right here is KyleHeath, and we'll see you next week. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Bye, everyone.
Yo.